Hello everyone, my name is Devin Barrington-Ward. For those of you who don't know me but may have seen my face throughout this week, I am one of the many members of the community who have been out front in response to the Brandon White attack that occurred in the Pittsburgh neighborhood on February 4th, 2012. I've been very honored and humbled by all of the support and the outreach that I've gotten from members of the LGBT community here locally in Atlanta and members of that community in a larger network from all cities all over the country, Los Angeles, DC, Philadelphia, New York. I mean, the support has been overwhelming, but it's been overwhelming in a great way. But what's been more humbling is the support that I've gotten from members outside of the LGBT community. You know, many people are probably wondering, what's my role in all of this? They've seen me at the press conferences, they've seen me in the media, and I want to define myself in this greater conversation about how we move forward after the news cameras have gone away revolving around this Brandon White situation. For me, I want to see tangible change for all of our communities. Saturday we're having a rally called Communities Rallying for Safety. And the reason why we entitled that is because it's community. So many different communities, the Pittsburgh community, the Black queer community, the LGBT community as a whole, social justice organizations, common concerned citizens, elected leaders, these different communities coming together to rally around a common unifier, which is safety, stamping out violence and hatred in our communities. So moving forward, some of that tangible change that I'm going to be working hard for is to see that Georgia does indeed pass hate crime legislation this year in the General Assembly. If it doesn't happen this year, I'll be there the year after that, and the year after that, because this is important. It is unfortunate that if the federal government does not step in and prosecute this crime as a hate crime, that these young men may not see, that this young man, Brandon, may not get the type of justice that he deserves. However, the silver lining in this is that we can make something tangible out of this so that no one else has to suffer the horrors that Brandon suffered, so that no one else doesn't receive the type of justice that they deserve after being a victim of this type of crime. I'm adopting the Pittsburgh community. We can use Pittsburgh as a model moving forward on how we insert a message of tolerance for communities that have been havens for crime, violence, economic injustice, and many of the other societal issues that are affecting the Pittsburgh community and many of our communities around the country. Thank you for your prayers, but most importantly, thank you for all of the concern that you've shown for Brandon White. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than me being seen on CNN or anything like that. This is about Brandon and Brandon's plight, but also it's about the plight of a community, the Pittsburgh neighborhood. Pittsburgh can show as an example for many of our communities across this country. The community that Brandon was attacked in, the Pittsburgh neighborhood, is a haven for crime. It's a haven for hatred, a haven for violence, a haven for bigotry, unemployment, and many other socioeconomic factors that unfortunately have contributed to this violent street gang arising in the neighborhood called the Jack City Boys that commenced the beating of Brandon White. I'm going to make sure that the Pittsburgh community has resources for its young people so that they're not out in the streets perpetuating hatred and violence. We as a community need to be more in the business about crisis management. So moving forward, I'm going to be calling on our leaders around the country, from organizations like GLAAD to people here locally like the State of Black Gay America and Georgia Equality, on how we appropriately respond when incidents of violence happen to members of our community. We want to make sure that there is a network of people who can offer different services and resources to the victims of these crimes. I want people to find their voice in this fight. We all have a voice in this fight. Find your voice, stick with it, and I'll stick with you. Remember, this is about Brandon White. It started in Pittsburgh at 1029 McDaniel Street, and hopefully it will end there.